Hello, my name is Janet Holgrimson, speech language pathologist. Today I want to talk about some early literacy and building interest and buy-in to books so that books don't have to feel like work at home for your child. So some of the earliest things I like to talk about is following your child's lead in storytelling. Don't worry about getting to the end of the book or finishing the page and turning the page. It's the journey along the way that builds actually interest. And it doesn't have to be a long book. So if your child's already thinking of reading as a daunting work activity, try to make it as fun as possible. So I'll show this book, Goodnight Moon, for kids that really aren't into books yet. So one way the parent or the adult could read with their child, I always point to the words on the page. Some kids it's frustrating for, but at least try to, as much as possible, start because it's drawing their attention to the words. So what I would do for this one is Goodnight Moon. We're going to read Goodnight Moon. Goodnight Moon. The great green room. There was a telephone and a red balloon and a picture of... What's the picture of? Oh, I think they're going to talk about this picture. So then you start talking about the page that's in front of them. Oh, look at that. That's a crazy looking phone. So you're just pointing and commenting things on the page. This is very early literacy, so we want to just get the kid involved in talking about the pictures and talking about the story. That's what it involves. So for this one, I know with my boys, I'd usually go, oh, let's stoke the fire, poke the wood, let's stoke up the fire, make the flame really big. Oh, what's that? I wonder if that's maybe porridge, or maybe it's like marshmallow goo, right? You can just make it something silly. So it's actually just fun to talk about the book. It's not the classic, I have to sit here quietly and listen to whatever you tell me. That comes later. That comes once the child's already engaged and excited about books. So really talk about the pictures on the page. Turn the page and you can say, oh, and anything where it's interactive with the book. So, oh, here's a balloon for you. You have the balloon, right? And then you just move on. Turn the page, and I always talk about the language or literacy around books. So turn the page. So pages is something you have to talk about. Oh, I'm going to find the first word on this page. Oh, always start on this side. And I just indirectly will talk about that, especially if the kid's looking over here to on the page on the right first. We want to prompt them to like, oh, I got to go read over here. We always start with this page, and that's it. I wouldn't do look over here, do this. Like I would just talk a lot about what I'm thinking about as a proficient reader. So then I would just say, oh, I go start over here. The cow jumping over the moon. Oh, that's what the picture was. Was that picture on that page? Oh, it was. They were talking about this picture. And there were 3 little bears sitting on chairs. 3 little bears. Yeah, look at them. We don't have any pictures like that in our house. That's a funny looking moon. It's kind of sideways. So then you just talk about different ways about the picture. If it's a kid that really can't stay at the book very long, one thing I recommend is not even reading the words the first few times. It's just talking about the pictures, getting them introduced to the book, making it less than a few minutes, right? So I'm going to model that now if it's a kid that's not really interested in literacy and has a very short attention to books, is already like, leave me alone with books if they're older. So turn the page. Oh, Bobby's or Kukum was knitting me a scarf last summer. I wonder if that's just knitting like Kukum. Or oh, look at these little kittens. We don't have kitties in our house. Those little kitties. I wonder what they're gonna do and play. Oh, here's some socks for you. Let's see what's happening on the next page. A lamp? I haven't seen a lamp like that. Oh, but I do need a comb. I'll comb my hair. Oh, there's a little bunny. Bunny was knitting. That looks like a bunny grandma. Cool, just like your grandma. Turn the page, and then that's how you go along. You just talk about a few pictures and turn the page. It's nothing work. Another thing that you need to do as the adult is you being engaged in it. You being interactive with the pictures in the story, because what you're showing them is that you love the book. It's not about them, so it's not work. So as soon as you keep looking at the child and saying, look at this, do that, you're just modeling it. right? You're showing them that books are fun and you're being engaged and interested. And that's more, then you'll have to do less redirecting for the child to stay at the activity. They'll just want to come. They'll start coming. The more you do this, whether it's randomly throughout the day, you just leave books around your house and they'll just come and engage with you. Whatever it might be, the book reading to build the interest is on the adult initially. So keep the book short, talk about the pictures, get excited. Don't be looking at the kid. Leave it open posture so they can come and join and see what you're talking about. Even if they're a little further away, they'll come and join if it's something that's most exciting, especially if the parent's showing interest in it. Okay, so that's one thing that we can do. I'm just going to switch my book for a second here. We'll use this book. Anyways, so this one is called The Mitten. This is for kids that maybe really like listening to books, but they're poor readers. Another thing you can do is just getting them introduced. So when you're teaching about reading, you're talking about letters, you're talking about sounds, you're talking about words. As they're getting older, maybe they're poor readers, they're starting to talk, their teachers are talking about paragraphs or sentences. So talk about that higher language vocabulary. So one thing I usually do is say, can you show me the first word on this page? Okay, and they're starting here. So once there was a boy named Nicky who wanted his new mittens made from wool as white as snow. So then, there we go. And there's the last word, and there's a period. There's the end of the sentence. You can also have the child point to, show me the last sentence on this page. Show me the first sentence on this page. See if they're able to point to those words, sentences. Because if they're going to have to learn punctuation, they're going to have to know what a sentence is, where the idea ends. Can you show me the last word in the paragraph, so they have to understand what a paragraph is. Some of those early things are really important. Okay, turn the page. At first, his grandmother, or Baba, did not want to knit white mittens. So let's talk about this word. Can you help me read it? What sound does it start with? Or so you look at the sound in the word mittens. Or maybe you don't show them the words and you say, I'm going to say a word that's in here and you tell me what sound it starts with. Mittens. What sound does mittens start with? And they go, yeah, and look, there's an M at the beginning, and M makes a sound. Mittens. You can also have them read every word that starts with an M. And one thing I do with my guys at home is I'll say, okay, you have to read all of the S words, because they have some sound errors with their S. So then I'll say, you have to read all the S words. So if you drop one in the, and then if they don't know how to read, I say, if you don't know, just ask me and I'll make the sounds. S-N-O. So then they have to read that. So they have to put those sounds good. And that's one of those very early foundational literacy skills. So being able to put the sounds together. And it's also working on alphabetic principles, sound letter awareness. So the word is snow. And then they say, oh, snow, it's snow, right? And they also are working on their speech because they see the S and they make that sound. It cues them to make that good S sound. So snow. Oh, this word starts with an S too, but you know what? It starts, the S and the H together make a sh sound. That's our quiet lady sound. Sh, E, she. So you can just teach that before they read it. You can also teach all the words that start with S before you read it, so you go over them once, and then they can use their narrative language to figure out what word comes next. So if I was to read each word beforehand, okay, you have to read all the S words. Oh, I see one here. S-N-O. Put those sounds together. What word is that? Snow. Yeah. And this word starts with an S. It's sh-e, because the S and the H together make that quiet lady sound. Sh. So sh-e. Those are the two words that you have to read. And then you reread the sentence. If you drop one in the, and you pause and they read that, snow, she, and then they have to read she as well, warned, you'll never find it. Right? So then you're talking about, remember, there's your S words are in this sentence here. So you're just introducing them to vocabulary, you're introducing them early reading, you're helping them with blending and segmenting and alphabetic principle, and it's not too much work so that they have to read every single word or every single page. So that's for just building early literacy interest, introducing them to vocabulary around literacy, because that's usually a very confusing part when kids start when the kids are struggling readers as well already. So those are some little things that you can do at home with your kid during literacy activities. Thank you.